Welcome to my luxury coach ride straight to hell. I'm Magic, and this is Magic's Monologue. Today's video, 5 Feminist Lies America Sold Women. So take a seat, hit the mini bar in the back of the coach, grab a cold one, and let's get this party bus rolling down to the barge on the River Styx. 1. The first lie that women were told. Women can have it all. The first lie is that women can have it all. They were fed an illusion that women, being the superior sex, have an inexhaustible supply of physical and emotional energy that enabled them to juggle a career, family, friendships, and, volunteer service. And how has that worked out for many families? Proponents of feminism declared that not only can a woman do what a man can do, but they must do what men do. Since men can't do what women can do, have babies, this put a double burden on women. It wasn't enough that women were already exhausted from never-ending tasks of child-rearing and homemaking. Well, that was smart, logical, and rational thinking at the time. And yes, that's sarcasm. They told themselves they needed to be in the workforce as well as contributing to the family financially. 2. Women don't need men, or commonly referred to as, I don't need a man. Gloria Steinem used a seemingly comical phrase during the height of the 1960s feminist movement. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And it's still alive, well, today. Oh, wait. Didn't she marry a man after that? What was that simp's name? Oh yeah, David Bale. Father, by the way, to Christian Bale. Sadly, David died 3 years later into the marriage. God rest his soul, and I truly mean that. Whether it's Jennifer Aniston, Miss Married Twice, by the way, talking about how women don't have to fiddle with a man to have that child, or Emma Watson talking about self-partnering. Have no idea what that is. Over time, as women began to make their own money and take advantage of birth control pills, they came to believe that women don't, in fact, need men. They were wrong. Biologically, women are wired more or less to depend on a man. Most women still want to be mothers, and when they do, they become vulnerable. Even today, women know instinctively that they will ultimately need a man if they want to have a family, and if they want an option of being at home at all, if only for a period of time. Research shows that what matters most to women, even to those who are economically independent, is knowing that they have a man to whom they can rely on. It's the feeling of being safe, in good hands. Yes, even financially. That means most finding and selecting the best mate or deal she can get. Often leaving a current mate for what will appear to be a better deal. That is what is known as hypergamy, and it's alive and well today. 3. Gender is a social construct. Men and women are the same. The moment when the relationship between the sexes took a nosedive is when women began to have sex like men, casually, with no strings attached, under the guise that women are no different than men, and are just as capable as having casual sex. From college campuses to the nation's boardrooms, many women today have learned to pursue sex the way men often do. No commitment necessary. And strangely enough, they're getting burned. If there's anything that proves this in spades, it's the so-called campus grape culture myth, and that the Stalinist horrors of Me Too. If women are just like men in their ability to have casual sex without emotion, then why would campus flings and office F-buddies become a cause for the courts rather than welcome lunchtime ride? It's not just female sexuality that confirms the different natures of women and men. Parenting provides it in spades. Once a baby arrives, a woman's nurturing gene almost always kicks in. Providing for her child emotionally is her first instinct, which is why going back to work too soon is heart-wrenching for some mothers. Men's reactions are different. His first instinct is to support his family financially. It is not his sole contribution, but it's first on his list. Simply put, that men and women may both be capable of performing identical tasks doesn't mean that they want to do them with equal fervor. In this case, desire matters. 4. Biological clock isn't real. The biological clock may be politically inconvenient, but that doesn't make it any less real. The ideal age for a woman to get pregnant is 25. Because of this, it stands to reason that men can postpone marriage longer than women. However, when it comes to women, society is a pathological liar and doesn't tell women this truth. This situation is also known by another name. It's called the wall. Oh, and they say the wall is not real either. Tell that to the companies conning women into paying big bucks to freeze their eggs. Feminists pretend they can map out their lives with careers at the center as men do, while being in denial about hitting a point, that imaginary damn wall again, in which their ability to conceive is riding in a car called a career. Sooner or later, that car is going to crash into, you guessed it, that imaginary wall, hard. In support of this, feminism is always right at all costs. Countless articles are written to deliberately obscure the biological reality that it's easy for a woman to have babies in their 20s and early 30s. In other words, the feminist agenda lies to women. In doing so, feminists get what they want: for women to reject the maternal desire and the nuclear family. Destroys the foundation of our society and causes below species sustainable birth rates. Also, women will produce in the marketplace as opposed to their traditional structure or biological imperatives. Indeed, after decades of following this ideological script, women can no longer find husbands, or large numbers won't, and if they do, these women will be too old to safely have babies. 5. A career is more meaningful than marriage and children. Of all the lies feminists tell, the idea that career success is more fulfilling than marriage and family is by far the worst and most malicious. It is almost impossible to convey the depth of this lie, for it too began in the 1960s. This time with Bedouins insistent that being a wife and mother is akin to being in a comfortable concentration camp. Since that time, American women have been indoctrinated on a steady diet of words and images that drive Frieden's argument home. Women, more so than men, need to feel a part of a group to feel good about themselves. Few women, unlike men, are content to stand apart from the crowd, but most are not. Since mothering is encouraged, women are surprised to discover how heart-wrenching it is to leave their babies and return to work. They're surprised to discover that work isn't nearly as satisfying as they were led to believe. This same sense of unease is felt by single women who can't find a man with whom to settle down with because 85% of women all want the top 10% of men, a formula for continued failure for most women. It turns out, for a lot of women, careers aren't fulfilling at all, especially when they end up in bed alone at night hugging that body pillow. With that in mind, let me say this louder for you 8% of women watching my channel in the back. Ladies, you have been lied to about so many things all your life, and that's why some of you are so unhappy. Are you perhaps interested in the solution? Yes? No? Maybe? Bueller? Bueller? 1. Stop chasing the top 10% of guys. They'll bang you, but not marry you unless you are 22 to 27. Time to notice the other 85% you either have ignored or friend-zoned. They were always the better deal. You just didn't want to see it. 2. Change your priorities to becoming a wife and mother, which means getting some wife skills, and to ask and honestly listen to men about what men look for in wife material. 3. Stop taking dating advice from female dating coaches. If their advice worked and they honestly knew what men wanted, then why are so many of you still single? How has this worked out for you? Oh wait, for many of you it hasn't. And yet you try and blame men, and it hasn't occurred to you it's what you're doing that's getting the response that's not working for you. In the comments below, list other lies women are told their whole lives. If you have a story to share or seek advice, please send it to stories@magicsmonologue.com. If you come across something on the net you think I should do a video about, please send it to me, the link and the story if you can. Please subscribe and help us reach our goal of 1,100 by December for subscribers. Give me a thumbs up to help others see these videos and share them with someone whom you think needs to see it. Until next time.